Caddo Parish Commission regular session for January 19th, 2017 to order. Will the Vice President say our prayer and parliamentarian lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance?
Would all stand, please? Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for all the wonderful things you've done. Forgive us on our many sins. Forgive us and watch over and protect us. Be with us as we move forward. I ask and pray that you'll be with the citizens of Caddo Parish as we make decisions. Just ask that whatever decision we make is of your will, dear Lord. I just ask and pray that you'll be with our veterans, be with our sick, be with the ones who need your touch and healing, dear Lord. And I pray for this meeting today. In your precious holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Country flag, pledge allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bless you, Donna.
I didn't even hear you.
I'm sorry, Ms. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
I will, sir. Mr. Dominic.
Present. Present.
Jackson.
Here.
Present.
Present.
James Watt.
Here.
Atkins. Valdez.
Here, sir. Here.
Down form, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Clerk, do we have any agenda additions? One moment. My computer screen is doing something really strange, and I'm not able to follow the agenda here. There we go. All right. Appreciate it. Can you say no agenda addition? All right. Citizens' comments. Citizens who would like to address the commission on any issue other than zoning should please fill out a comment card located near the chamber foyer and return to the president or the clerk of the commission. Individual comments are limited to 3 minutes. I don't have any comment cards here. Do you have any?
I have no
All
problem.
right. Well, we go next.
We'll move to selection of interim member for Caddo Parish District 12.
This clerk will be in your hands.
Okay, just to go over what we will do, we have the names that were approved on Monday. This before you. We will go person by person. I will ask you please to vote yay for that member. Only vote once. And also, what I'll do is I'll roll call each person, and then you can vote by voice yay only if you're voting for yes, and push the button also so we'll have it recorded in 2 places. That way I'll know if anybody, you only have 1 vote through this process. Once we finish round 1, if a person gets 6 votes, that person is duly elected. If they do not get 6 votes, the 2 top vote getters will be in a runoff to the next round, round 2. We eventually have to get to the person with 6 votes, the majority. So if y'all are ready or for any other questions.
I have Commissioner Dominic on the board.
So let's just say if we had 3 people that tied, I don't know if that's possible, those 3 would go on to the
That's
top.
correct, sir.
Okay. So we only don't vote no, just vote yes. Out of the, how many candidates do we have?
We have 12.
Okay, just want to make sure we got 12 candidates. So whatever candidate I would like, that's the one I need to vote for.
I would say so.
Okay, all right, just vote one time.
I
But now you said vote yay. We're going to do a roll call too.
Yeah, I'm going to do both, so that way I can keep up and make sure you only vote once.
Right.
Okay,
Make sure
so
everybody
that
It's easier that way with 12 members.
there's someone that cheat. Right.
No cheating.
All right.
Make a mistake.
Ms.
All right,
Clerk.
Mr. Reddish?
That's a lot of
Ready?
good candidates, that's why.
Thank you.
We'll start with Mr. John P. Bates. Mr. Dominic. Mr. Johnson. Mr. Jackson. Mr. Lynn. Mr. Bowman. Mr. Hawthorne. Gage Watts. Mr. Middleton. Mr. Atkins. Mr. Chavez. Mr. Smith. Mr. Clifford Collins. Dominic. Johnson. Jackson. Lynn.
Roll call.
Bowman. Hawthorne. Gage Watts. Middleton. Atkins. Chavez, Smith. We'll move to James E. Hurd Sr. Dominic, Johnson, Jackson, Lynn, Bowman, Hawthorne, Gage Watts, Middleton, Atkins, Chavez, Smith. Derek Henderson, Dominic, Johnson, Jackson, Lynn, Bowman, Hawthorne, Gage Watts.
Got one for,
Say yeah.
yeah, Henderson.
For
Push that yes button.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Henderson.
Yeah.
Again, it needs to be, I need to hear it also, please. Push
Say
the button
yeah.
and also by voice.
Yes.
Okay. Gage Watts, Middleton, Atkins, Chavez, Smith. Willie Henderson, Dominic, Johnson, Jackson, Lynn, Bowman, Hawthorne, Gage Watts, Middleton, Atkins, Chavez, Smith. Lewis Johnson, Dominic,
Yay.
Johnson, Jackson,
Yay.
Lynn,
Yes.
Bowman, Hawthorne's over, Gage Watts, Middleton,
Yes.
Atkins,
Yes.
Chavez.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is 6 votes.
You didn't call me.
You want to keep,
Smith.
Here, yes.
keep,
That is 7 votes. The newly elected, appointed Mr. Lewis Johnson.
Johnson, I believe we'll have the swearing in by the,
Yes, sir. At this time, we'll move to the swearing in.
y'all please remain standing for swearing in.
I, Lewis Johnson,
I, Lewis Johnson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and laws of this state,
and the laws of this state,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all duties incumbent on me as
all duties incumbent on me as
Caddo Parish Commissioner, District 12,
Caddo Commissioner, District 12,
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and understanding.
and understanding,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Come over here.
Yeah, he'll be on.
Lewis
Go sit down.
I think he's going to go get something.
Commissioner Johnson.
But you got some paperwork, so let's just take a quick, brief,
Can you go ahead and let us
or, okay, I recognize some folks. Are y'all left for speaking? All right, Commissioner Bowman. Bowman?
Okay. Yes. Can you hear us? Okay. I just want to congratulate you, sir. I've known you for years, and what you've done even with community involvement and education, dealing with fire safety at the Independence Stadium as well. And as a God-fearing man, I have no doubt that you'll do well. So I just want to congratulate you and welcome you aboard. And you got a big charge, and it's a great big district, and it's a lot of people, just like it's a lot of people out here who really are, you know, are good as well. But I know your heart is good, and I've always known where you stand with God as well. So
I wish you the best.
Thank you so very much, Commissioner.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Dominic.
Just a couple of quick things on some of the stuff I want to reiterate that I said the other day. We had a lot of applicants. I don't know when we've had this many for our position. And to be honest with you, I was in the same position as you guys were several years ago, back in 2007. I was appointed. Commissioner Stormy Gage Watts, she was appointed. Commissioner Johnson, and I think Commissioner Cawthorn, were you too? Bowman. So a lot of us were appointed, and we know that it can be nerve-wracking to get up here and go through this process. And I commend each and every one of you guys. And it's a hard choice, you know, for us to sit up here and try to decide who's going to be best. And we made the choice that we thought was best. So I hope no one holds anything against me the way we voted. But I would tell you, Commissioner Johnson, I would call you Commissioner at this point. I look forward to serving with you, and I think you'll do a good job. And look forward to being up here, at least until the election time, because I think it's in October or November. You know, that's when that seat will ultimately be filled, and that'll be up to the people of the District 12. So we look forward to serving with you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, sir.
Commissioner Middleton.
Congratulations and welcome aboard. Pretty much what Commissioner Dominic said. I agree. I mean, he said what I was going to say, a lot of it. But to those that did not get selected, now the work starts. You know, that campaigning. The way to do it is go door to door. That's a big area, as Commissioner Bowman said. So best of luck to each of y'all. I hope there's no hard feelings also. But Commissioner Johnson, welcome aboard.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Commissioner Atkins.
Commissioner Johnson, welcome aboard. I look forward to working with you. To everybody else who applied, thank you so much for putting your names into the hat. I know it's a challenging process. Please understand that there was difficult decisions that had to be made, but we appreciate all of you for being willing to step up and offer yourself up for service, so thank you very much. Thank you.
Very much, Commissioner.
Commissioner Johnson. Commissioner.
To the 11 other candidates that were applying, I commend you for doing that. It takes a lot of effort and prayer to get up and say that you want to represent the district and represent people in a particular area. To Commissioner Lewis Johnson, congratulations. Look forward to working with you again. We've worked together in the past under a different area, so this is a new area. Both of them were dealing with public service, so just congratulations, and hard work starts today.
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson.
Commissioner Lynn.
I want to thank everybody who threw their hat in the ring. It was really exciting for me, the fact that there were so many qualified applicants, and I really appreciate everybody doing that. And Commissioner Johnson, I look forward to working with you in the future with this. And in your resume, I recognize that you were involved in Boy Scouts of America, and that's something that I strongly support in turning the youth around. And so congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioner Lynn, sir.
That's everything.
Commissioner Gage Watt.
Thank you. Congratulations, sir, and welcome to the Caddo Parish Commission. To the other candidates, we are very blessed to have so many people who wants to dedicate their lives to Caddo Parish to serve, because that's what this is all about. And the conversation that Mr. Johnson and I had was one of the things that I was looking for when I was called and asked for support. I wanted to hear where your heart was, and it was in serving, because if it's not about the people, it's not about anything else. So welcome. This is a job that I love because I love people, and I know that you do too. I've learned more about you in the last few years than most people probably will never know. But I'm excited to have you aboard, and I think that you will be a great team player. So looking forward to working with you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.
Commissioner Carter.
Good afternoon. I would first of all like to commend and I thank all the persons who presented themselves to fill this vacancy. To have the courage to step up for public service in this local community is a very courageous act. This oftentimes can be a thankless job, but the fact that you was interested in doing so shows me that you are committed to Shreveport and Caddo Parish. To Commissioner Johnson, I want to say congratulations. I want to continue to work with you both here on the commission and some of the community stuff we have done collectively. I think you'll be a fine addition to this august body, and congratulations, and look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Commissioner Coughlin, sir.
Commissioner Johnson, I have watched you over the years at my time at the city, and you know, a person's reputation and character precedes themselves as yourself. And so before we ever had the conversation with each other back at the city of Shreveport, you know, when I came over to the Fire Academy to walk around and learn what was going on, your reputation had already preceded itself. And so I think it manifests today with these individuals selecting me here. To the individuals who applied, thank you. Keep up the work. Support each other. The votes here today was not a vote against anybody, which is why our rules don't allow us to vote no. Our rules don't allow us to vote yes, because it's not a swipe or a negative slight against anybody. There's a campaign that will take place, and everybody has the opportunity to get out and tell the citizens their story, and whoever has the best story, the best message to sell, will ultimately prevail. And so, Commissioner Johnson, the work starts now, but a lot of the work that we deal with, you've already been doing. And for those who don't know, I don't think you told us on Monday that you're the voice of Friday Night Football at Independence Stadium. So hopefully you will continue that work, and I look forward to having you on. And once Commissioner Chavez has his say, if there's nothing else, you're more than welcome to join us here.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Jackson, sir.
Commissioner Chavez.
Thank you, President. I know it's a both bittersweet, heartfelt. There's a lot of broken hearts in the room, and one very happy one. So my heart breaks for the guys that they didn't get and the girls. But I'm very happy to see that you guys stepped up to do this. I really am. And I'll tell you guys, there's a lot of work in this parish, in this city. So even though this position has been filled by Commissioner Lewis Johnson, I want you guys to look around and say, what can I do? Because God graced you with a servant's heart, and it's time to get to work. So there's more jobs to be had, and the work is not done. We have a lot of work ahead of us. Commissioner Lewis Johnson, congratulations. My commander that took me to Iraq, Mark Allen, he told me you're an amazing man, and we should be so blessed to have you on this horseshoe. So I'm looking forward to working with you. Welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Chavez, sir.
If you want to say something real quick before you join us, go ahead. Or if you want to say it from up here.
I can say it from here.
Go ahead.
First of all, good afternoon to everyone. I'd like to give honor to God and thank Him for my very life and for this opportunity. I want to give honor to our Commissioner, our Parish Administrator, Dr. Woodrow Wilson, our President, our Vice President, and all Commissioners. I'm humbled, I'm thankful, I'm excited for this opportunity. And much like yourself, I'd like to give my commendations, both commend and applaud my other fellow candidates who applied. They were all very good, respectful, and capable members. And our district is in very good hands. I'm thankful for this opportunity. It's my prayer and my plan to work as hard as I possibly can to work with the commission and to move forward the parish and to help with the quality of life for our members and our citizens throughout the parish. I want to thank the people who have come today, my daughter, my nieces, my pastor is here, and a couple of guys from my Sunday school class, and many others who have come. I want to thank them for their support. I thank you for this opportunity. I'm looking forward to working with you. Thank you very, very much. I'm going to get my folder, and I'm ready.
Don't run away. All right.
Mr. President, at this time, I would also like to thank our Caddo Parish Clerk of Court, Mr. Mike Spence, for coming over.
Thank you.
He did the swearing in and signed all the documents we need to get to the state tomorrow.
Thanks, Mike. You like to fly under the radar, but
Mike, thank you for coming.
thank you.
Hey, go Cowboys.
He had to go there.
Hit the gavel, do something.
He just likes stirring up the pot.
He don't like it.
All right, Mr. Clerk, we'll be back in your hands.
All right, this time we have no visitors, we have no special resolutions.
That's crazy.
We have to adopt, we need to adopt the
So
regular session
moved.
minutes for
Second.
January 5th.
Moved by Commissioner Gage Watts, second by Commissioner Lynn. Any questions? I see Commissioner Johnson on the board.
Yes, on the minutes, I want to make sure that the conversation I had verbatim dealing before the election of officers is added to the minutes.
I'm gonna object to that.
Say that again, what's going on?
That's for real? I mean, I can speak on it. I need to.
I make a substitute motion that we accept the minutes as recorded or whatever.
Second.
I still need to speak, so I'll speak to the reason why I wanted it added.
I don't think you made a motion.
I did.
But it didn't get a second either.
I thought I heard a second.
No, there wasn't.
Well, I make a motion second. I can second it.
There was a motion made, but you wanted an amendment, what I'm hearing.
I made the motion to amend the minutes based on
No.
making it verbatim.
The motion I had was from Commissioner Gage Watts to accept the minute, to adopt the minutes, second by Commissioner Lynn. And then you made something,
I was on the board. That was my motion, was to do that.
but there was not a motion.
Okay. I'm still on the board.
I heard that, Judge.
Well,
So let's ask the attorney for clarification in this particular situation.
Okay, Commissioners, what I heard was, I heard a motion by Mr. Johnson. I'm not sure if he got a second. I will defer to
was
the
not.
clerk on that. So the clerk is shaking his head no, that there was not a second to that. So then I had a substitute motion from Commissioner Jackson, which I believe got a second. So that is what is on the floor and can be spoken on, or it can be amended, or substitute for that. Okay. Well, I can withdraw my motion.
So we're voting on the motion and the second that was on the floor.
We're voting on your motion,
Right.
which was basically to accept the minutes as is.
Right,
So that's what's on the floor, so we all get to speak on that.
okay.
So,
So I have-
I'm up.
Yeah, you gotta get back in the queue. Commissioner Dominic.
Yeah, I don't know, Todd, when we do the minutes, there's no requirement to do stuff on verbatim. I don't know why we would be writing stuff up for verbatim. I mean, if we start doing that, then you may be typing forever.
We do our minutes as a summary.
Right.
But we have had requests in the past by commissioners to add a portion where maybe under communiques or a visitor be put in verbatim, so it has happened.
Okay.
Not often.
Okay, and then I will defer and move on down the line and let Commissioner Johnson explain in a minute why he wants everything on there verbatim.
That's it.
That's all I have.
Commissioner Gage Watts.
Okay, first of all, I was going to defer to Mr. Johnson first, but let me go ahead and say this. I withdrew my motion because the fact that it says in the minutes that I believe that I was passed over the president's seat to me, due to me being a woman. And that is not, I never said that. So that's incorrect. So the verbatim would be a great idea to include that in the minutes of what I said.
That it,
Mr. Johnson,
that it, Commissioner
I
Gage?
yield at this time.
I make a substitute motion, or how you want to put it, to amend the minutes from January the 6th to include verbatim the discussion by Commissioner Gage Watts and Commissioner Johnson, Lyndon Johnson, prior to the election of officers. Get a second, I will explain why.
I second it.
Thank you.
Motion and a second to amend the minutes. Commissioner Johnson on your motion.
Okay, in January 13th edition of the Inquisitor, there was an article written saying that Commissioner Gage Watts made sexist remarks and I made racist remarks. Looking at the minutes verbatim, my comments were not racial, her comments were not sexist. So I want those to be added to the minutes as a official record because of the article that went out claiming that I did something that I did not do or did not say. For clarification, makes it official record. The video shows it as well, but I want it in the minutes. That's the reason why I asked for that, only that section. to be verbatim.
You want to speak on your second, Commissioner?
Yes, sir. I totally agree to that because if, when we are agreeing to what is actually stated in the minutes, is saying that that's exactly what was said. And so this is a summary of the complete speech that I gave on that day. And so with that being said, I will yield from saying anything further until those are included in these minutes. Because those were not my exact words either.
Is that it, Commissioner Gates?
Yes.
Commissioner Atkins?
I understand that the minutes can't always state every word, but if the minutes accidentally send a different message than what was intended, I think it's perfectly appropriate to ask that a portion of the minutes be amended to properly reflect what was said. Thank you, Mr. President.
Commissioner Chavez?
Thank you, President. We touted transparency when we ran, so I think that's what we need to stick to. So I'm going to support Commissioner Johnson and ask that we have the minutes verbatim. Thanks, guys.
Commissioner Hawthorne?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with this. I think that a man's words, a woman's words, should, if they've been misconstrued, they should be afforded the opportunity to make sure without a doubt of certainty what it was they expressed or they didn't express. So I definitely want to be supportive of this.
Commissioner Bowe?
I just want to say ditto, and words are weapons, and that's why I always even tell us, y'all say I'm the peacemaker, but I really just know that even when we disagree, that we can still come together. We shouldn't let our personalities overshadow the politics and everything. And so, and if you're misrepresented and those aren't your words, it's just like for any of us, then by right, we owe you that afforded opportunity for justice in that manner. So I support it.
My initial, is that it, Commissioner?
Yes, sir. Mr.
My
President.
initial reason for objecting to the minutes is that portion, I believe, we're going to add in all of that. There was a portion in those comments that I found very offensive to me. What was said was, if I was elected president, or if what took place, this would set Caddo Parish back 30 to 40 years. And for that to come out of somebody's mouth is very disrespectful. Caddo Parish, Shreveport, had a lot of issues and struggles 30 to 40 years ago. And for that to be said, that cut like a knife. And I take strong offense to it. So that was my initial reason for objecting to it. But now that I think about it, it's in the record, it's on video, and it's been done. And so I'll let it stand if you want to let it stand. Please vote.
We're voting on the...
Voting on the amendment to add the minutes verbatim in. That passes 11-1.
There's the total
Okay.
up the top.
Okay. Those verbatim portions will be added.
Thank you.
And next, we adopt the special session minutes from January 12th.
moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Dominic, second by Commissioner Johnson. Any questions, please vote. Commissioner Smith, cannot escape. Zero, that passes.
All right, next, we move to communications and committee reports. We have administration response to information requests from commissioners.
President Jackson, Commissioners, good afternoon. We have a few items for you today. And first and foremost, we have Mr. Lawrence Guidry to give you an update on our flood relief efforts for those citizens needing additional help. So he's going to come and give us a report, year-to-date report of what was spent and what's remaining in that particular fund. Mr. Guidry, the mic is yours, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioners. I'm Lawrence Guidry again, 620 East 85th Street, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71106. I come today to give you the Commissioners will report on the flood assistance and the tornado assistance that began in July of 2015. And of course, I want to just tell you all, before I give you the report, out of all the things that we do, this may have been the most gratifying thing that we could possibly do for our citizens in Caddo Parish, because those folks lost everything. That was the floods of 15 and 16 and the tornado of December of 15, which we were able to assist. And I'm proud to report that we assisted 27 families with flood assistance and 9 families with tornado assistance out of the funds. We drew down a total of $325,000 of the $750,000 that you all appropriated. And we're in the red $642.95. So therefore, the commission owes the agency that. However, we still have one outstanding client that came on December 28th, and I called and got permission to help. She's in the All City area, and of course, and she's eligible for a little over $20,000. So that would be the final one in this realm, unless you all reauthorize to keep going. Now, a learning curve. We learned so much, and by the way, I have with me, and they kind of hide behind that column there, about 6 or 7 people who did all the work. Now, I'm the mouthpiece. I told you all when I was here before, it's not a Lawrence Guidry show. I do have some excellent people, and I want them to just stand and be recognized for what they did, because they the one went to the homes, did the financial reports, and did all of the things. I went to a home or 2, but they went to all of them. On your desk today is a report. The names, of course, with the names on there, I did mark it confidential with it for you, because it's a record for you all, because you all appropriated the funds. On the other report is every dollar that was spent. Now, I just want to be proud to say, we were volunteers. Every penny that was spent on the homes and the families. We didn't get taken nothing out for copying costs, administrative costs, salaries, or anything like that. It all went to the people, which is what it should be, because this was one of the most catastrophic things that could happen to a community, have a 500-year flood. And you all are to be commended for giving the money, because I looked far and wide, and I didn't find not a single parish or county in America that gave any money for flood victims, and we had some water in 2015 and 2016, so you all will be commended for doing that. It's brave. I know you may have taken some criticism, but hey, you all came up and stepped to the plate, and I want to thank the administration again, because let me tell you, without Dr. Wilson, Ms. Frazier, and Ms. Erica Bryant, and some of the other gentlemen who helped us with particularly that tornado, which was little known in our community, but it happened near Blanchard, December 27, 2015. And those folk were devastated. I mean, because they were in trailers, and Category 1 was all that one was. I'd hate to see any more severe one come through. But I want to thank you all for allowing us that opportunity to serve in this capacity. And our funding source, really appreciate what we do, because it helps us with our report to them that, hey, we don't just do what they ask us to do, we step beyond, and you gave us that opportunity, and we appreciate that. Thank you.
Mr. Guidry, we appreciate you, all the work that you guys did. I was talking with Dr. Wilson on yesterday. Sorry, thought it was off. But we were talking yesterday about some of the disaster aid that's coming from the federal government and the state, and there seems to be some possible opportunity again for us to capture some of those dollars. And so if we can, hopefully we can look forward to a partnership with you guys to continue doing that. That RFP should come out probably next week. And then there's another $1.2 billion coming out. And so, you know, we're all, and there's no match required.
Right.
So we'll continue to track that and have that conversation. But what you have here is very thorough, down to the T, and it shows the level of accountability that your team under your direction is doing, and we appreciate you for that. level of accountability. So thank you. Got a couple people on the board. Commissioner Lee.
I'll never pass up an opportunity to commend you on the job that you did. Thank you so much for taking care of the citizens of Caddo Parish and everything that you've done. That's everything for that, but I do want to be back on the board afterward.
Commissioner Adams.
Mr. Guidry, thank you for all your hard work, and thank you to your team. You were very gracious to thank us for our support, but we must always remember it's the citizens of Caddo Parish and the taxpayers of Caddo Parish that actually funded that initiative. So it's really the taxpayers of Caddo Parish we need to thank. But thank you very much.
Commissioner Johnson.
I want to thank you for stepping up to the plate, being the gap, the agency between us and the Red Cross and the victims of the disasters that have happened in Caddo Parish. We started with the flood in 2015, then we had the tornado, then we had another flood. And each time, you never did say, well, you know, it was just a one-time deal. It's the different disasters that came about, we asked you to step up to the plate, continue to do that. You and your staff did, and I really want to say we're very happy about the reporting that you also have done, because I know initially when we first tried to get this done, that was one of the concerns of one of the commissioners that was up here was the reporting. But your reporting has been excellent, time in and time out. There's just make it very easy for everybody to follow, to make sure they know where all the dollars are going. The process we set up of allocating so much money at one time and then letting your organization utilize that money to the citizens that need it, and then once that became low, then coming back again another lump sum. So the process has worked real well. Glad that you was able to step up and do it to help us to help serve the citizens of Caddo Parish. Thank you.
Commissioner Carter.
Yes, I want to thank Mr. Gibbs and his organization for what they have done most recently that people around the horseshoe have enumerated. But I also want to publicly express and explain to people, if they don't know, that Head Start comes to Shreveport, Bossier, this local community, through the Community Action Agency. And they have a 50-year history of continuity in this community, educating disadvantaged kids that have gone on to do some great things, not only in Shreveport, not only in the state, but throughout the nation. And so it doesn't surprise me that the work they are doing in a contemporary context is consistent with what they have done historically in the city of Shreveport. So we want to formally thank the Caddo Community Action Agency for its 50 years of continuity in the city of Shreveport, Parish of Caddo.
Well, for the new commissioners, let me just say one final thing. I want to thank you for creating us 50 years ago, because the police jury of Caddo Parish accepted the responsibility for getting the Head Start funds. When it first came across the parish lines, it was $20,000 to assist children with summertime Head Start. And it just grew to where we are today with 1,654 kids of all walks of life in our community. And it's a thing of beauty, and of course it's a thing of great pride that we do when we do that. But we thank you all for creating us 50 years ago, because if you don't create us, we don't exist. And I thank you for that.
Mr. Gage Watts.
Thank you, Mr. Guidry. I couldn't have said that better myself. That's what it is. It's a partnership, and we are so much better together. It is such a pleasure to be able to work with you and to allow the constituents to be able to have confidence in coming to a place that they know that they will get the help that they receive. I cannot thank you enough, you and your excellent staff, for what you have done for our parish and in this community. So I just wanted to lift my hat off to you and to your staff. And it's just a pleasure being able to work on their board as well and to get the first-hand advantage of these things that you are doing so great in our community. Thank you.
Commissioner Bowman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to tell you, Mr. Guidry, you, even before I even came on here, I've heard so many great things of what you've done, but for like what we had to deal with from tornadoes and the floods, yes, we get credit, and say the people, but really it takes a leader, and you're like a Moses. It says, without a vision, the people perish. But
watch it now.
We need to have your direction, man, for real. We need your direction. And the way you held everything, the way you're accountable, everything just worked out. And it was like a smooth transition for something that this governmental body never even stepped out and even had done before. And yet, maybe we could set the mark, and we were there for the people.
Right.
And that's what we need to do, and thank you for allowing us to do that. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Mr. Guidry, I'd like to commend you and your staff for a job well done.
Thank you.
And properly managing people's money. And you did a great job, and we appreciate that. Look forward to doing additional work with you in the future.
Thank you.
And thank you all, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Commissioner, we have, I'd like to introduce to some, we haven't met him before, Mr. Charles Gallup, and he's a voice in the face of Globus, and formerly known as Project Rail, and he'd like to give us a presentation at this time on who is Globus and what the project entails and a little overview of where we're going. So he has a brief PowerPoint presentation, a slide, and then he will specifically also address the question about the foreign trade zone, those who have questions relative to that application process. So without any further ado, Mr. Charles Gallup, to come forward. Okay, cool.
As the sun rises and a new day begins, Sunday Globus is already hard at work around the globe. Sunday Globus' global presence is guided by the motivation to offer optimal value and satisfaction to our customers. Our mission is to improve the lives of our customers by working around the clock to make the world better and healthier. Every day, we are making the world an ever smaller place and increasing customer value. Your value chain partner is Sunday Globus. After all, as a Sunday Globus flow carrier approaches the border, halfway around the world in outbound, Sunday Globus truck is heading along Interstate 85 towards Sunday Motor Manufacturing, Alabama. The world advances more each day based on a logistics relay in 24-hour circulation. Sunday Globus is a global logistics supply chain solution at the heart of its circulation cycle. Established in 2001, Sunday Globus is a young and strong company that has built up a sound portfolio with an extensive global business network that includes logistics, ocean transportation, knockdown businesses, international trading, and used car sales. The one-stop logistics supply chain solution provider, Sunday Globus, endeavors to become a reliable value chain partner with a global reach and a commitment to enhancing customer value. As a train stacked with new cars is rumbling along the railway track, on the opposite side of the world, loaded with a shipment headed to the port of Santos, having passed the humid tropical rainforest surrounding Sao Paulo, Brazil. Sunday Globus is connecting the world 24 hours a day with optimal logistics supply chain solutions. As the first Korean logistics company to acquire a European logistics firm, Sunday Globus becomes more globally competitive every day. In emerging markets, Sunday Globus drives business growth and maximizes customer satisfaction by providing an efficient flow of goods and services. From assembling thousands of parts into a finished car until it reaches the customer, Sunday Globus offers a one-stop logistics service that synchronizes the production and flow of goods, such as steel, energy-related items, consumable products, and military assets. Logistics consulting services for each industrial sector. It strives to ever expand the scope of its logistics services. As cars are being unloaded support of their profit in Germany, which he delivered to customers throughout Europe. Crude oil is being unloaded at deadline ports in the global supertanker, which has been for over 30 days from the Middle East. Hyundai Globus is at the forefront of a new frontier in ocean transportation. Hyundai Globus provides top-quality shipping services using its own car carriers, bulk carriers, supertankers, and petrochemical carriers. Hyundai Globus has started using the first-ever post-Panamax car carrier, which is a cost-effective means of transporting large cargoes, such as construction equipment, large vehicles, bullet trains, iron ore, crude oil, and petroleum products. Hyundai Globus continues to develop new shipping routes and improve corporate competitiveness on its growing global network. Safety is our first priority when delivering shipments to customers, whether by land or sea. Hyundai Globus is strengthening and consolidating its one-stop logistics service by developing a port exclusively for car carriers. Hyundai Globus' shipping business is cruising towards a brighter future. At times, as a trailer loaded with Caddo parts and components is entering the most of automobile transportation in the Republic. Hyundai Globus trailer successfully closed the deal with aluminum in Los Angeles, USA. Hyundai Globus creates maximum synergy in the distribution industry based on its logistics supply chain solution. Hyundai Globus' Caddo business provides 24-hour logistics support for overseas automobile production lines. Hyundai Globus provides a total service for overseas automobile production lines, including the supply of Caddo parts and components, container shipments by air and sea, and inland transportation and storage. Hyundai Globus has a network of overseas logistics centers that can quickly supply high-quality parts and components to automobile production lines, contributing to enhancing the global competitiveness of the domestic finished car industry. With the experience we have gained over decades of business and a 24-hour global network, we are constantly engaged in trading goods such as non-ferrous metals, chemicals, automobiles, steel products, and parts and components. Hyundai Globus is consolidating its position as a total logistics company, with its growing business in Caddo, trading, and other areas in the distribution industry. The move at Hyundai Globus' car auction house in Chiba, Korea is heating up as people bid to purchase more cars. Korea's used cars exported through Hyundai Globus auction sales are giving new lives on the highways of the Middle East. Hyundai Globus is redefining used car sales online and offline by creating an environment where sellers and buyers can deal in a safe, reliable, and transparent manner. Autobell is a brand name launched by Hyundai Globus that offers a reliable standard for purchasing used cars. Cars are inspected and details about them are posted on the used car auction website, Auto Auction, which also offers a one-on-one consultation service. Hyundai Globus is striving to contribute to shaping a better future through CSR activities and setting a new standard of business ethics. Creating new values by following a philosophy of mutual growth and conducting a campaign to raise safety awareness, a logistics industry promotion foundation engaging in partner growth with logistics companies. Our sponsorship and management of semi-professional web meeting shows our commitment to partner growth with the community. All of us here at Hyundai Globus are dedicated to making the world a better place by participating actively in CSR activities offering a higher level of corporate ethics and creating sustainable values. Innovation and creativity are the keys to shaping the future. Caddo holds both keys and has achieved its growing reputation by offering better services and creating new values for our customers. Together, let's grow faster. Together, we can accomplish more in the same amount of time. Through our combined efforts, we'll make the world more connected. And we will deliver more value, making the world a better place. Enhancing customer value. Your value chain partner. Caddo grows.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gelly. For you.
Commission members, staff, administration, citizens of Caddo Parish, thank you for having us in your home. I'm here on behalf of my company, which is DVR Shreveport, and Glenn Cliff, who is the CEO of Glovis America, to first of all introduce ourselves personally. You've heard about our project and you've heard about facts and certain things about the project. I wanted to bring a face, a person, a personality, and a commitment. My commitment to you all and the citizens is we want to be here forever. We want to grow, and we want to bring a new industry to this part of the world. And thank you. My role was a year ago to find a solution. And that solution was, and kind of how does all this tie together and what are we here? We call it Project Rail, or have up until now. It's really an inland port. What you saw there with ships and all the different types of activities that you saw in that video relating to automobiles, that's all has the potential to be happening here in Caddo Parish. Wow. At the GM plant and other locations. We've identified, we were asked to find a solution. That solution was Hyundai, and so let me introduce who Hyundai and Kia is for those of you who don't know. They're the 10th largest auto manufacturer in the world. They are the most profitable on a percentage basis per car in the world, and they're one of the fastest growing in the world. They're also an extraordinary company with a deep commitment to relationship with the communities that we are involved in and with the people that work for us. And there are two principal components of selecting a project, and I was asked to identify every potential municipal unit between Dallas, Fort Worth, and 100 miles west of here, and find three basic components. One that has extraordinary existing infrastructure. So, while I know it was an extraordinarily brave and has been a controversial act on behalf of the commission and the citizens to have purchased the GM plant from Razor Trust, it was that act that made this possible. I'm standing here, and there will be hundreds and hundreds of people working in Caddo Parish because the citizens made that choice. And it's been painful and it's been expensive, but we hope that it will be very beneficial, and we hope that we will be able to be part of returning to the parish a return on that investment, both in dollars and in lives being changed. And I'm happy to tell you that today there are 35 families whose people are working at the plant today, earning a family-sustaining wage with benefits, and that we envision that in the next 2 to 3 months, another 110 to 120 will be working there. And if we are so fortunate as to have your support for the free trade zone, and which is integral to our expansion plan, we believe that number will go well over 200 in the next 6 months. So the three components that I was asked to identify were good infrastructure, and Shreveport has really good infrastructure. Good real estate, and Shreveport has, and Caddo Parish has, really good real estate. Really good real estate is quality real estate that's scalable, because as one of the fastest growing companies in the industry, the one thing that prevents us from staying in a community is the inability to grow. And so it is the ability to grow here that was very important. But the single most important component of our business is the people, and the work ethic, and the commitment of the community to its people. And in that regard, I found this parish to be extraordinary. From the very first day I got here to the very first person at the rental car company and at the hotel and at every restaurant I've been to, there is a commitment to want to see this parish prosper and a willingness to work to do it. And we're willing to match that effort. And I'm here to tell you that if you are willing to meet us in our relationship and help and support us to do that, we will do that for and with you for a long time. And so in that spirit, our growth plan, when we first sat down, we said we were going to come here and we were going to grow. We were going to start with about 90 acres, which is where we started, and that we were going to grow over the period of a year to about double that, and then we would hope to double again. I'm happy to tell you that if we are able to get the free trade zone support, and we are able to move forward with our expansion plan, our plan is to double our size between now and the end of March. And toward that end, we are planning a significant multi-million-dollar investment in the land adjacent to the GM plant, and we're in discussions with neighbors next to the GM plant, and we've begun discussions with other property owners to be able to facilitate that continued growth. Our business is very simple. The more footprint, the more acres that we have, the more vehicles we bring in, the more people we employ. And it's pretty simple. More or less, for every 1,000 vehicles we handle a year, it's one employee. And so the more vehicles we're able to handle, the more people we're able to employ, and the more growth we're able to share, and the more efficient. Our stability, our long-term duration is tied to being a best solution, best in class. And so we've set this up to work with you, to be successful. You have an extraordinary staff, extraordinary administration. NLEP has really done an incredible job, both Scott and Zell and other folks there, to help make this happen. And so in that regard, I came today because I want to express to you how important a free trade zone is to the success of this project and why. So a free trade zone is not something new. It's something a little new to Caddo Parish, and it just hasn't really been very important. But it's designed to facilitate the business that we're in, which is logistics. Moving products from outside the country to into the country, and from in this country to outside. And in that regard, a free trade zone allows two really important factors. There's a lot that it does, but why is it particularly important, and why am I here now? Well, tomorrow we're going to inaugurate a new president. And we're going to inaugurate a new president who has said that he's going to renegotiate NAFTA. And so under NAFTA, most vehicles coming from Mexico are duty-free. Not all, but most. Those duties are approximately 2.5% of the value of a car coming into this country. Our current plan is 150,000 vehicles, which means plus or minus 12,000 vehicles a month. And what the free trade zone allows us to do is to pay that duty, not when it comes into the country, but when we ship it out from our facility. So the free trade zone literally makes, for tax purposes, the zone foreign soil. So that whether we're bringing vehicles, and we have plans to bring vehicles in from both Mexico and Korea, have them received at the GM plant, process them, and then ship them back out. Without the free trade zone, we would be paying about $1.5 million a month in taxes before those vehicles were sold. With the free trade zone, we'll be paying $1.5 million a month just when the vehicles are sold. So that's extraordinarily important with relation to vehicles coming from Mexico and NAFTA and the Free Trade Act with Korea. So that's a really, and it's absolutely a situation that would preclude the ability to grow this property. We just couldn't do business here without it. The other thing that's extraordinarily important is that in a free trade zone, new models that have not been approved by the EPA can enter the country. They can enter the free trade zone. They can't leave until those emissions have been certified and approved, but they can come in. So that's a very niche aspect of free trade zones, but again, being in the business we're in, without that benefit, we couldn't make the project work. So I wanted to just kind of make it very clear that there are we're not, by designation as a free trade zone, we're not asking you to sacrifice any taxes. We're simply asking you to allow us to pay our federal taxes when the vehicles leave the free trade zone, as opposed to when it comes in, and to accept vehicles that we otherwise couldn't accept in the event of new models. So with that, I understand that there may be some commissioners that have some questions about free trade zones. I am not a free trade zone expert, although I've stayed at Holiday Inn Express, so I may be able to answer some questions, and I do have some experience with it. We did a free trade zone for every Glovis facility in the United States at the end of last year, so I'm real familiar with it, and we've done it for about 300 acres in the city of Philadelphia. So I'm happy to answer any questions that any of the board members or staff or professionals may have with regard to the free trade zone and the letter of no objection that we're presently asking you to support.
Mr. Gale, we got some folks in the queue, but I would ask, in the interest of time, that if you have questions about the free trade zone, let's get with Dr. Wilson, Dale, Scott, and maybe if y'all want to do a workshop like we did last year with David Wolf, if we could limit our questions on the free trade zone in the interest of time. I don't think anybody had issue with it. I think that was just some miscommunication, and I hope that didn't get back to you, that there was somebody having an issue with it. I don't recall anybody having an issue.
Okay.
Commissioner Adams.
Well, I was just going to point out, Mr. Chavez did just want some clarification, which I think was very prudent. He spoke to NLEP, and Mr. Martinez with NLEP just sent out a letter to all of us just today that was very informative and very helpful. So thank you, NLEP, for that. So I personally don't foresee any problems there. So I want to thank you all and Hyundai Glovis for your interest in Caddo Parish. We're so pleased to see you all interested in our community. We're excited that you recognize that we have good infrastructure, great people, and plenty of room to grow. So there's certainly plenty more room if you all need to expand more rapidly. So thank you for considering Caddo Parish. We look forward to working with you, and if any of us can be helpful to you, please let us know.
Thank you.
Mr. Dominic.
Yes, sir. Is it Gallup? Is that how you
Gallup, yes.
First of all, I would say I really had the free trade zones a no-brainer, and I think you did a very good job explaining everything, so no problem with that whatsoever. I think we'll move forward passing that today. The second thing, and most important thing, I just want to say thank you for coming here today, and on behalf of the commission, we're so excited that you're here, and we're so excited that we're having someone at the GM plant to create jobs for Caddo Parish and the city of Shreveport, and we want you to keep making, what did you say, about 1,000 cars, keep bringing 1,000 cars, because we want more jobs and more jobs and more jobs for economic development and our growth. But we're here, we're going to continue to work with Zale, and Mr. Martinez, and Dr. Wilson and our staff to do what we can do to help you guys out, and y'all do the same, and we look forward to working with you. I think your first comments was you want to be here a long time or forever, and we would love you to be here and create jobs and stay forever, okay?
Very good. We got a deal. Thank you.
Excellent. NLEP, Scott, Zazelle, thank you for doing what the parish hired you to do, to cultivate, to develop economic development. I cannot go on without saying kudos to you and to your organization for what you have done. I love the fact that you express what's not so obvious to a lot of people who never leave this area. And you said something about Caddo Parish that we take for granted when you're not exposed to other things. But you said that this was a great place not only to live, not only to work, but to do business. We are so grateful to have you in our parish. We welcome you. If there's anything that we can do to make it better, please don't hesitate to let Dr. Wilson and us know if there's anything else that we could do. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Commissioner Chavez.
Thank you, President. I echo what they say. I'm very glad you're here, and I'm super excited about the jobs at the General Motors plant and the other possibilities around the parish. I only have one bit of clarification I want to get on something that you mentioned with making the soil foreign. Does that mean it's tax-free only on movable commodities or on property attached to that soil?
So to be to your specific question, it does not affect real estate or what you call ad valorem taxes here whatsoever. And the only beneficiary is Hyundai Glovis. So anyone else coming to the GM plant for any other purpose, this doesn't transfer to the property. It's very specific to the recipient of the subzone for the FTZ, and it would just be for the Hyundai Glovis vehicles coming in and leaving.
I appreciate that clarification. Welcome to Caddo Parish.
Thank you.
Commissioner Johnson.
Thank you. I want to thank you for making Shreveport another home for Hyundai Glovis. When I actually made the vote for us to give the $7.5 million to IDB, it was in hope that someone would come in that would create jobs, that would have the manufacturing mindset of automobiles, not the one that they keep talking about all the time, but somebody coming in to bring additional jobs to Caddo Parish. We've been hit pretty hard with a lot of industries that have been leaving, and this is a good stroke of luck, however you want to call it. But really appreciate you coming here and selling and then hopefully expanding even more than what you said that you would possibly do. Second of all, I want to thank Dr. Wilson for listening to me when I was president and wanting to make sure that we had somebody with NLEP that could go out and make sure that Caddo Parish was the top choice for anybody coming in, and today it's really paying off. Zale, appreciate your hard work. Scott, appreciate your hard work as well for making all this happen for Caddo Parish. We've been getting a lot of criticism because of the move that we made to get the General Motors plant, but as I always said, if the building is gone, how can you get jobs? So if the building is there, there's still hope that someone will come in and say, hey, that's a lot of space that could be utilized for something, and today is that day. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'm just going to kind of go back to my grandfather. You said a stroke of luck. Well, he had an expression which is the harder you work, the luckier you get. And so everyone in this parish has worked hard to make this project. Everyone in NLP has worked hard, and everybody in the staff and Dr. Wilson's administration has really done a great job. And without their persistence and dogged commitment to overcome obstacles, this would not have happened. And again, thank you for your appreciation, and thank you, Randy and Dr. Wilson and all of your staff, and Donna as well. We've struggled, but we got there. Thank you.
Commissioner Cawthorn.
Now, very briefly, thank you for Mr. Gallo for coming in and you guys making that decision to locate here in the Caddo Parish and doing it what I consider in an expeditious fashion. And all the people that work along with you, there's names have been called before. I'm one of those people that like to hit the ground running and do stuff in a very practical sense. And so I don't know if you're the person to ask this question. I've gotten a few phone calls from people, constituents in my district who are interested in some of those jobs that's going to be coming out there. What's going to be the process by which someone can get hired, who they call, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right, so in your packet, I believe there is a website. We have engaged initially a local business, Kelly Services. They have an online job application process. And our plan is ultimately to work with those temp employees and make them permanent employees of Glovis over time after a probationary period. So the appropriate mechanism would be to have them reach out through that web address or call Kelly directly and apply. We literally have 125 or 130 positions that we're trying to fill. So, and I am happy to tell you that, no matter where I go, I've received applications and resumes and talked to people, and it's really an extraordinary thing. And it's I can't emphasize enough that the machines and the processes and the real estate mean nothing if the people aren't committed to the business and to quality and to efficiency. And everybody here, I think there's been a lot of reference to spirit. This community has a lot of spirit, and we're going to meet you there. Thank you.
Thanks. Commissioner Lane.
Thank you, Mr. Gallup, for locating the company Hyundai Glovis in Caddo Parish. I'm very grateful for the jobs that you offer the citizens here. I'm curious, is Hyundai Glovis, are they looking for a manufacturing site within the continental United States? And if so, where would Caddo Parish fit in that equation?
Yeah, so at this moment, there's a question mark around that. I don't represent that interest except to share that there was a commitment by the most senior officials in the United States here and in Korea to the new administration to expand the two manufacturing plants that we have, one which is in West Point, Georgia, and one which is in Montgomery, Alabama. And there was a discussion about the possibility of creating new facilities. I can tell you that Hyundai Glovis and the Hyundai Group tends to like to stay where they're comfortable and where they've done some due diligence and where they've proven that the employee base is strong and growable and reliable. And I will do everything to your point to make sure that to the extent there is a potential expansion of their manufacturing that the parish is at the top of the consideration list within my power.
Thank you very much, and know that you have a commitment from me that if there's anything that I can do with my one vote to get you here, I will be thrilled to cast that in favor of a full-fledged Hyundai Glovis manufacturing facility within Caddo Parish. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Day.
Thank you all. I appreciate the opportunity to chat with you. Look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you, Charles. Commissioners, one last item. We have legislative priorities that we put at the stations. If there's anything left off the list, please let me know, and we'll add it and get it back to you all. I'm trying to make sure we get it done timely. Thank you all, and that concludes my report for today, President.
Okay, appreciate it.
Are there any other communiques, sir?
Mr. Lynn.
I have to take this opportunity to publicly commend my fellow commissioners, Commissioner Mike Middleton and Commissioner Mario Chavez, for doing what I would consider going into the lion's pit. There were several hundred citizens that had questions about animal services, and Commissioner Middleton and Commissioner Chavez met with them on their terms, and I think spent about 5 hours with them answering questions, and did not leave until everybody was satisfied to know that we with Caddo Parish are doing everything that we can do within our power to provide the highest level of service in every single department that we offer, including animal services. And so I just want to thank you so much. I know that those things can be difficult, and I watched the video, and it seemed like it really went off seamless, and I could not imagine it going any better than what it did. And so congratulations to both of y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it.
At this time, we'll move to President's Report.
If the guys and girls from YPI want to come up, want to introduce the Young Professional Initiative, and they've been sitting back and apologize for the wait, but they got an opportunity to see how parish government works and doesn't work. It doesn't matter whichever side you're on, but would like to just give an opportunity for them to introduce themselves and whatever you want to share brief.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Parish Administrator and President, thank you so much for this opportunity. In the absence of our President, Courtney Washington, I bring you greetings on behalf of the Young Professionals Initiative. I have with me today our esteemed immediate past President, Emery Gentry, along with Kyle Statlander, our Professional Development Chair. The Young Professionals Initiative, that's a group I like to call the most valuable young people in Caddo Parish, okay? The Young Professionals Initiative, just briefly, is a group that is a committee of the Greater Shreveport Chamber of Commerce. It's a networking group of community leaders under the age of 40 that are working to enhance and develop Northwest Louisiana. We want to bring retention and attraction to Northwest Louisiana through this group of networking young professionals. Our focus, again, is being involved in the community, having partnerships with businesses. We like to bring an economic impact with the body that we consist of. Our board is of 25 members, and we have a vast group of young professionals along with that board. The membership to the Young Professionals Initiative is easy to attain. If a business is a partner or affiliated with either the Bossier or Shreveport Chamber of Commerce, your young professionals between the ages of 21 to 40 can definitely be a part. It's just a brief application process, and all we look for is motivated, eager young professionals that are willing to work on our philanthropic efforts along with our educational efforts that we do. The membership for persons that are not affiliated with a business within the Shreveport or Caddo Parish area is a $40 membership for individual patrons. I'm going to yield the floor to Emery Gentry. She's going to go a little bit more in detail on how the Young Professional Initiative makes their footprint in Caddo Parish.
Thank you. And Shondell is our president-elect this year. And we have grown over the past 3 years. We are, in fact, a program of the Greater Shreveport Chamber of Commerce. Our membership has grown 60% over the past 3 years. Our attendance to our events has increased 40%. And we do hold a seat on a voting seat on the Greater Shreveport Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. We do have a committee seat on the Bossier Chamber. So we are very involved in the community. All of our board members have positions throughout the community that are very active. So we hold different events throughout the year. We have a networking social that is monthly. We have quarterly professional development luncheons, and we have our annual 40 Under 40 awards and gala that I know two commissioners on sitting up here have received in the past. So Yes. And then, of course, we do our philanthropic. We do have a philanthropy of the year that's locally we give a grant to, and we volunteer throughout the year. So we definitely try to make an impact through the community that way. I'm going to turn it over to Kyle for kind of the future of what we're wanting to do.
Thank you for having us. I'll be brief because I know that we're trying to get out of here. Stephen. No, but so anyways, what we do is...
I can talk.
So you know him, right?
Yeah. So one of the things that we do is professional development, and in our professional development wing, it's quarterly meetings where we invite certainly all the YPI as well as much of the Chamber of Commerce and other community members to learn about topics that are dear to YPI's initiative, as well as Dr. Magner at the Chamber likes to say, some of the OPI, which I'll let y'all fill in what the O is if Y is young. So anyways, we would like to invite y'all as well, all the commissioners, all of the community, to engage themselves and learn with us in our professional development. We'll have a list of what our professional development meetings will be, or luncheons will be. They're typically about an hour. They're usually at the Petroleum Club. Sometimes they're at other places depending on what the topic is. And we'd love to have some of our commissioners come and speak. I know Commissioner Chavez, and I believe Commissioner Jackson came and spoke at the political forum that we had last year, and we'd love to do that. Last year was politically charged, certainly, so it's not something that we get as much involvement with every year, but it's something we'd like to grow. But if y'all have any questions, or if the community has any questions about YPI and how to get involved with us, again, our mission is tied very closely to the Chamber's mission. It's tied very closely to the Commission's mission to help make Shreveport, Bossier, and Caddo Parish a better place to live, work, and play. Thank you.
Commissioner Bowman just slipped me a note saying he wants to participate, so we're going to get him signed up.
Come on, that'd be great. We'll send you an email.
All right. Thanks. But thank y'all for coming down. I know y'all do a lot trying to just keep young folk engaged. I tell you, I met a person at my gym, and it's hard to keep young folks engaged, but when you connect them to social networks and professional networks, they realize that they're not an anomaly. It's easy to get lost a lot of times, especially when you have folks coming directly out of their collegiate careers, because Shreveport's not a college town, and that was the conversation we had to have, was that you got to treat it. We have great colleges, but it's not a college town. Ruston and Grambling are college towns, and those colleges drive those towns, and so what y'all do is give individuals an opportunity to make that transition to their professional careers and network and socialize. I would encourage you, if you don't have Mr. Galup's contact, get his contact. If you don't have Ms. Dudley's contact, I'm sure you might already have it, because she's everywhere. And connect with Dr. Wilson. We have young talent here at the parish who, I don't know what our retention is with young folks here, but thank you all for what you do, and we look forward to at some point engaging, because as I look and open up my Facebook a lot of times, young folk don't know about the process. All they know is the very end game. And a lot of times by the time it gets to us, it could very well be decided upon. And so my goal, as long as I'm in public service, is to keep young folks, whatever side of the argument you may be on, keep them engaged throughout the process. And so as y'all sat back last week, just a moment ago, you saw how this process evolves from the appointment of members to even disagreements at times. That's what we do down here. So I appreciate you for taking the time out to come down. Mr. Chavez.
Thank you, President. Guys, thanks for coming down here. Emery, you're amazing. When I look at YPI, the old saying, a rising tide lifts all ships, it's so true. I personally, even though I'm part of YPI, I don't look at myself as young, because I've had a business that I've started over 12 years ago. So I kind of started the hard way. I didn't have YPI. I wasn't a chamber member. I just recently got involved with these guys about 2 years ago, and I see how you guys embrace these young entrepreneurs and these young people that just want to get started doing something, and you bring them to a network where they can really grow and meet other entrepreneurs and learn a lot of things that I personally didn't know. I had to do everything the hard way. I mean, the only way I was successful is I kept on breaking stuff. You guys show them, take them to class on how not to break stuff, how not to mess up, how to get everything right. So I really appreciate what you guys are doing for this community and what you guys do for the parish. So thanks for coming down and keep up the great work, guys.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Cochran.
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for coming out and doing what you do. Every local community needs to have a thriving group of millennials to kind of add the flavor and the spice to what we do here locally. I had the opportunity to meet this young man back at Christmas time. You work at Gibson Bank?
That's it, yes, sir.
We actually used his office to have some conversation. But congratulations to you guys.
To do what?
Did he have his NLC pen on?
No, he didn't.
Not that time, not that time.
Appreciate
Congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, and let us know how we can help.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Appreciate it.
At this time, sir, we'll move.
And I just have a couple
Okay.
more things. I do want to say thank you for the gun buyback program, and the DA is not here, but I sent them a note. Understand that 41 guns were collected, and hopefully we can continue. That was the first time it was done. There was some misinformation that tried to get out, but hopefully that program moves to different locations and is successful long term. Also want to thank administration and staff, Erica in her absence, and Attorney Frazier for hosting the nonprofits last week. Very good conversation, very good dialogue. Commissioner Atkins, appreciate your participation, Middleton and Cawthorn for being present. A lot of times folks get misinformation and they think that we, arbitrarily did something, and so that was an opportunity to clear up the air, give them some facts, and also a lot of folks to understand the process, because you can get caught up in the process if it's not done right. So we appreciate your diligence and information on that. So I thank you for that. That concludes my report.
Next, we'll move to public hearing on ordinances. Ordinance number 5660 of 2017, amend section 18.5, 18.8, and 1872 of the Code of Ordinances of the Parish of Caddo relative to flood damage prevention, to amend minimum construction elevations, to add the Red River flood hazard area, and establish a minimum elevation within that area.
Is there anybody here to speak in favor of 5660 of 2017? Is there anybody here to speak in opposition of ordinance 5660 of 2017? See none.
We'll close ordinance 5660 public hearing. We'll move to public hearing on ordinance number 5661, providing for the dissolution of Live Oak Multi-Faith Trust.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance 5661 of 2017? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition of ordinance 5661 of 2017?
If there ain't no one, we'll close on 5661. Ordinance number 5662 to authorize the purchase of property located in section 22, township 19 north, range 15, Caddo Parish, Louisiana.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance 5662 of 2017? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition of ordinance 5662 of 2017? Seeing none.
This time we'll close all public hearings. We'll move to ordinances for final passage. Ordinance number 5660 of 2017, to amend the Code of Ordinances relative to flood damage prevention.
So moved.
Second. Are there any questions on this? I do want to recognize board member Mr. Windsor Andrews from the MPC, who is here. I just want to recognize him for taking his time out. So thank you, distinguished gentleman in our community. Seeing no questions, please vote.
President, who was the second on that?
I'm sorry, that was moved by Commissioner Dominic, second by Commissioner Bowman.
Right.
Sorry, Mr. Commissioner Chavez. Please vote.
Yes.
Lynn. Everybody. That passes 10-0.
Next we'll move to ordinance number 5661, providing for the dissolution of Live Oak Multi-Faith Trust.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Atkins, second by Commissioner Bowman. Are there any questions? Please vote.
Mr. Johnson getting some on-the-job training.
Which Commissioner Johnson?
Oh, Lord, we gotta deal with that now?
We're gonna need a middle name here.
We gotta just do LBJ.
That passes.
Next, we move to ordinance number 5662 to authorize the purchase of property located in section 22 Township 19 North, range 15 West, Caddo Parish, Louisiana.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Dominic, second by Commissioner Chavez. Are there any questions? Please vote. That passes 11-0.
Next, we move ordinances for introduction by title. Ordinance number 5657, adopting volume 2 of the Code of Ordinances relative to the Unified Development Code and zoning and subdivision generally, repealing Article 3 of Chapter 48 and Chapter 54 of the Caddo Parish Code of Ordinances. Public hearing and final passage February 9th, 2017. This time we need to ratify the minutes of January 17th.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Lynn, second by Commissioner Johnson. I see Attorney Frazier on the board.
I just wanted to let you all know with regard to the Unified Development Code, we've been notified that there are some amendments which are included but have not actually passed the MPC. So during the public hearing, final passage on February 9th, we'll probably be looking to remand that back to the MPC so that they can formally pass those amendments and it come back to this body and to the city council.
Thank you, Attorney.
Noted, thank you.
That was the second, sir.
That was moved by Commissioner Lynn, I think second by Middleton. Commissioner Lynn, go ahead.
Could we instead just hold on to it and then take the recommendations from the MPC and do it from the floor? To keep it in the cycle?
You probably could do that, but they probably will not be ready for that date on the 9th. So you're probably looking at holding it over longer than the 9th of February.
Okay, but we could hold it over to the meeting after that as well, rather than having to reintroduce it.
Well, you wouldn't have, if you remanded it, you would not have to reintroduce it.
Okay.
Because it's on introduction now, so what would happen was if it was remanded, once they passed the amendments, it would come back for public hearing and final passage.
Okay, thank you.
It wouldn't be,
So it would come up on the old business.
yes.
But let me point out, we would have to reissue publication notice in the paper to do that.
Are you finished, Commissioner Lynn?
Thank you.
Commissioner Atkins?
I'd like to get some understanding about what these amendments are. If Mr. Sweeney, maybe he could, you don't even have to present it here, Mr. Sweeney. I'd really like a written documentation.
These are the amendments I presented to y'all at your long-range committee meeting back on January 3rd. What we discovered in talking with the city and the parish attorneys is that there's a statute that requires us to take those amendments, which were negotiated with the stakeholders, and take them back to the MPC board just to approve those amendments. The whole document's already been recommended for approval. We're just going to go back and look at those amendments. The same ones like the tree preservation one, the same ones I outlined for you. This is just a procedural thing that we need to do, dotting our I's and crossing our T's.
Okay, thank you very much.
You bet.
Thanks, Mr. President.
Commissioner Commissioner Johnson.
Yes, I just wanted they to see those recommendations and then they would read over them, and if we have questions, I don't want to really rush through it to see whether the process with Attorney Frazier has talked about. We'll have a layover and then we'll come back and look at it again and try to do it in a rush session. That's all.
All right. Another question?
Okay, we still need to ratify the work session minutes.
Oh, please vote. I think that was moved by Lynn,
Well,
second by Middleton.
we had a motion, we had a second, and then we got into a conversation.
Are we ready to vote?
We're voting now?
Yes, it's ratifying the minutes. Johnson gave one. That passes 11-1.
Next, we move to resolutions. Resolution number 9 of 2017, authorizing the Caddo Community Action Agency to administer the Head Start program.
Second. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Dominic, second by Commissioner Johnson. Any question? Please vote. For one moment. I got Commissioner Dominic on the board.
Yeah, if it's okay, I would go ahead and move to in Globo.
All right.
Resolution number 10, resolution number 11, even though, ooh, it's kind of hard, and resolution number 12.
Second.
Come on, Doug.
All right, let's go.
Moved by Commissioner Dominic,
I can't get
second by
Linda to
Commissioner
laugh at me,
Dave
man.
Watt.
He's smiling.
Please vote.
Merry Christmas.
I have Commissioner Johnson on the board, on the Globo.
Yeah, I just want to thank the commissioners ahead of time on resolution number 11. And that's basically endorsing me as a candidate for the executive board member at large. I will do Caddo Parish proud, as I always do, if I'm elected to that position. If not, I'll work on a plan B. But I plan to serve as long as people allow me to serve.
All right. Congratulations in advance.
I'm
out
of order, Mr.
President.
You got campaign manager? Commissioner Chavez.
Thanks, President. I just wanted to touch on that. LBJ, as a rookie commissioner, he really took me under his wing and taught me a lot, and I really applaud his wealth of knowledge and the fact that he questions everything and he researches everything. And I like the fact every time we come up here, you can look and LBJ's got a list of stuff that he's researched. Make sure he's not just sitting up here pushing buttons, but he actually does his job thoroughly. And I applaud you for that. I really do. That's it.
Representatives.
Please vote.
The last outburst.
That passes 12-0.
We have no old business. We move to new business. Authorized action regarding Globus, America's request to be designated as a foreign trade zone.
So moved. Approved.
Commissioner, you have any questions on your? Moved by Commissioner Dominic, second by, who's that, Commissioner Middleton? Any questions, Commissioner Dominic?
No.
Any questions, Commissioner? Any comments?
No.
Commissioner Gage Watt?
I was on the board for Commissioner Johnson. Okay.
Okay. Commissioner Johnson.
Yeah, I would like to englobe the authorization for Globers, the authorization regarding docket number 585797, and the confirmation for Kyle McKinnis for the Industrial Development Board.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Johnson, second by Commissioner Dominic, and to be clear before we vote, the authorizing action is to dismiss administration's recommendation to dismiss that suit. I want to be clear on that. And we in Globo and to adopt. So please vote. Commissioner Johnson. That passes 12-0.
Next, we have confirmation of reappointment of Fire District Number 6, Mike McCullough.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Commissioner moved by Commissioner Smith, second by Commissioner Middleton. Please vote. Chavez.
How you gonna vote against your person?
Is that wrong?
Hey, Mr. Gill,
How you vote against your person?
I voted yes.
So he wants to be yes.
Okay, that's 12-0.
Just kidding.
Run me off, man. We need to stop.
Yes, sir.
All right.
That's the time to catch it, right at the moment it happened.
I had to say something this time now.
All right.
Next, we move to confirmation of reappointment to Waterworks Number 7, Mr. Jewel Wagner.
Yes.
I'll second Commissioner Smith.
You got me back.
Please vote.
I love you.
Please
Yes.
vote.
God bless you.
Please vote. That passes 12-0.
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn. This meeting is adjourned.
Sometimes.